All right, let's get to my next guest of the evening. This is his second appearance on the show, representing Lexington. Got the album out. Trust the Process is out right now on all the platforms. He's in a good mood, at least I can tell. Shout out to the homie Youngin. He's with me right now. What's good?
Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my dog Kenny.
All right, good man. Good to hear from you. Good to have you back on the show. You wanted to be back on the show so we can just talk about how everything's been for you since the release of Trust the Process. Um,
Right,
so
right, right.
so with that being said, it's been a couple months since the release. I'm on social media every day, and I see you are very pleased with the support that you have gotten from Trust the Process. So, with it being a few months since the album's release, how do you feel about the response that you've been getting?
Honestly, uh, I feel like I've been honestly really blessed. Um, Being a new artist, this being my second project that's been on major platforms, to be reaching the numbers that I've been able to reach. I mean, we're almost about to hit 50K with Trust the Process. So that's this is a kind of like an unfathomable feeling, but at the same time, it's only the beginning for me. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Misunderstood put some good numbers last year. Um, and Trust the Process comes in and pretty much exceed expectations streaming wise. I've played the album several times myself, man. I definitely see the
I appreciate
hunger.
that.
I've seen the hunger, the growth, the bars just teaching cats, so definitely see what you've been able to bring. You've been putting in work in the Lexington hip hop scene. I'll never forget, and I brought this up on the first interview we did. I seen you at the Green Lantern bar years ago,
Uh,
and just
wow.
so it's so I've been aware of you since then, and I guess that was probably before Misunderstood. That was before you started putting out music on the platforms.
Yes,
So
sir.
so just seeing how far you come since then, the confidence has grown. You're putting out some dope music. So I've been paying attention. I pay attention to the good music. I pay attention to the real as well. You're a real cat.
And I from the bottom of my heart appreciate that. I don't take my journey lightly, and I know a lot of people probably look at me and they think, yo, he's just another rapper out here trying to make it, which I am. If you look at it from the grand scheme of things, but on a lot of levels, I'm not. Like I feel like every bar that I've ever spoken has came from a real place. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that so many people are able to tune in and relate just means the world to me because this is like I said, this is my life and this is just how I'm feeling from time to time. And it's all started for me as just a venting session, just kind of trying to figure out how to cope with depression. So from me trying to do that to even just having this interview with you is like I said, it's unfathomable.
I'm definitely happy to have you on and get your music heard. And you are also featured on a playlist that I've been working on. It's the Music Monday Local Songs of the Week playlist. I pick a song
Okay.
once a week, and I picked Manifestations, the opening track off of Trust the Process. That's on the playlist. I definitely like that song. Just that set the tone for the album to get a feel. of what you are saying, what direction you're going with this album. So, talk about that particular track, man. You got a lot to manifest these days, man. Talk about manifestations.
Well, honestly, when I first started to write this album, um, I kind of go crazy was the first song that I wrote. And I'm not trying to redirect, but
Yeah.
Go Crazy was the first song that I wrote, and I kind of was just like, yo, like I feel like that was before I'd even named the album, honestly, and I was like, yo, I feel like I want to talk about where I'm at right now and how like just give people, especially I got young people that follow my journey, just give them a little taste of youngin. You know what I'm saying? And just let them know, like, yo, I'm a real person. I grew up probably the same way that a lot of y'all did, just trying to figure stuff out. And if you looking at me like I'm anything special, then I promise that you could do the same thing. And that's kind of where that came from, was of just being like, yo, like whatever you aspire to be or aspire to do in your life, just speak it. I'm a firm believer in, once you speak something into the universe, it's it kind of eats at you until you do it. So with that track, I just honestly I'm in shock that song is kind of getting the the notoriety and the play that it is, because that was probably one of the realest songs that I wrote on that track. As far as just like I said, it was like you said, it was just the opening track. So I didn't mean for it to be anything grand. I just kind of wanted people to understand, like, trust the process is really about to be about my process. I wanted to take y'all through a little bit of everything with that song, and then allow y'all to go through the rest of the tape and hear, oh, okay, I remember him talking about that in Manifestations, or I remember him talking about that in Manifestations. So for you guys to be digging that song the way you are, it's really humbling.
Yeah, man, definitely a dope track. So I definitely enjoyed this album overall. So you got some collaborations on this project. You got Black
Yes, sir.
Ice on the Go Crazy track that you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
You got Smooth D on the last three tracks: Clouds, Wait for Nothing, and Where We Headed. Um,
Yes, sir.
so talk about the collaborations. What was it like to have Black Ice and Smooth D as your only features on this project?
Well, honestly, it was dope. The first project, I think I had one feature on there with Anonymous Rose, and this project, I really kind of wanted to reach out and really try to find artists that I personally thought were dope. Not necessarily people that everybody in the city or everybody like thought was popular or whatnot. I honestly, and it also was a thing for me, as of showing love, networking. Like I got introduced to me through Rollo Green, and me and Rollo are really really smooth friends. So he had told me, I told him, I was like, yo, I'm kind of looking for a verse um, early, probably like January of last year, and he was like, man, I got this cat, and he sings, but he can really spit, and I was like, man, let me hear what he's got. So time passed or whatever like that, and a lot of stuff happened, and I got real close to the album, and I was getting real nervous, and he ended up sending it through, and I hit him up and was like, yo, man, this is this is fire. Like, not even trying to be a fanboy or anything, but or try to hype you up because this is my album. But I appreciate the verse. I don't really know you. I hope that we work some more. So, Black Ice, if you check this out, man, keep doing your thing, bro. I hope that we get to network more in the future. But yeah, that's kind of how that came upon. That D Smooth, me and him. I don't know. Well, I know that you have. I'm pretty sure that you have checked out the Studio Quarantine album. Me and him teamed up through Rollo as well. Shout out to my boy Rollo Green. He's throwing the oops, but honestly, he just kind of asked me. We were just chilling in the house, and he was just like, "Yo, would you like to make some music?" And I was just like, "Yo, I wouldn't be mad." And we just kind of, honestly, when I tell you, we was chilling, drinking, vibing, and studio quarantine just became what it was. And so I ended up asking him, like, "Yo, would you mind to grace a couple tracks on Trust the Process?" And I know that he wasn't really not necessarily popular, but he was just starting. So I was just like, yo, I wouldn't mind to throw you on the album and throw you some of my supporters because you definitely have a voice. And that's kind of how that whole thing played out.
Shout out to the homie Rollo Green. I did see him a few weeks ago at with Anonymous Rose in her tour. Her last stop was in Lexington, and there was at Al's bar that night. So I ran into him, and he's in good spirits. You know, bringing the R&B vibes for the fellas, singing his heart out, whatnot. That's a talented cat. If you ain't familiar with him, go check out his music. Check out the Studio
Yes, sir.
Quarantine Project with Wallow and
Yes, sir.
Youngin. That's also on all the platforms and stuff. So go check that out. Misunderstood. That's also on there. So Youngin, you've been busy, man, these last couple of years, with these albums
I've
and
been trying to be.
yeah. So I know you are, man. Like I see you, man. I'm on the internets every day and stuff. So this is an incredible album with Trust the Process. I definitely enjoy this album, and I'm pretty sure um everyone definitely enjoys it as well. I see you, Mitch. You brought up the Spotify stats. It's that time of the year. Spotify on rap, people get to see who listen to who the most, and from an artist side, you get to see who really vibing, who really support. So,
Right, right.
what was your reaction with the Spotify stats that was presented to you?
Honestly, expected. I had a lot less streams than last year, but and I had a lot less listeners. But the one thing that I took this year was with this whole concept with Trust the Process. I literally did not promote until after I dropped the album, and so everything that I did to get ready for Trust the Process pretty much was organic. I was in DMs. I'm going to shows. I'm performing. I'm emailing people for opportunities, and so I really didn't want to get my I didn't want to let myself get aside of myself with the success from trust. I mean from misunderstood, and I know that this is I play football, and so I'm definitely plus I play defense, so I am somebody that goes every play, you know what I'm saying? Like new play, new, you know what I'm saying? Like the old play is erased. I don't care if you got an interception the last time that you was out, this is a whole new set of downs. And so just the opportunity to be able to have another album and then see those numbers rise like they are is not only like I said, a blessing, but when I first started this, a lot of people don't know. Like I said, I started this to kind of just find myself. It was more so of like a depression thing. Um, Me wanting to understand my purpose in life, and a lot of these songs that a lot of people are really like alert manifestations, youngins old, uh, uh, even like realizing stuff like that. Like those songs aren't like New Kid on the Block. Like those songs are probably the songs that I knew they like these are gonna be the ones that people love. They're gonna be the ones that they really But at the same time, those are honestly some of my most like vulnerable songs. So for like when you say manifestations, I really step back and I kind of like I said, it's really humbling. But I also I step back and I remember where I was when I wrote that song, and just remembering like how far I've came, not just as a musician, but as a man, and just the things that I've been through, the situations that I've overcome, and just understanding that it is a process and that I'm going to keep getting better. I'm gonna mess up and it's okay. But just the fact that I've been able to touch so many people with my music thus far, being an underground artist, an independent artist, just means more than anything in the world. And like I said, I don't have to have interviews. I don't have to have shows. I don't have to have any of that. So the fact that I have people wanting me to do all these things is, like I said, surreal.
Absolutely, man. You definitely come a long way. Since you started performing, getting things going musically. You definitely have a lot of passion for hip hop in general. You're a student at the game. You definitely have got a lot of people that you look up to, guys like the late Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to that brother.
Rest in peace.
And Tupac and plethora of
Rest in
other
peace. Yes, sir.
artists. That the thing about hip hop, man, is that be authentic, be yourself. We all for the party songs and club songs, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear how you feeling, what you're going through, and music like that can help people through a time. It can even save a person's life. The music has a way of impacting people's lives, and just anytime when you play a song, you show people the music that you're playing or listening is that means something. So that's what hip hop is. It's a culture thing. Not everybody's
I
going to
agree. I
understand
agree.
it. But people like you and I, you from an artist perspective, me from a listener's perspective, just understanding what these artists go through on a day-to-day basis. So it's a good look, man. Hip hop is where it is, and it's not going anywhere. And I'm gonna keep listening to Trust the Process until you release that next album. I know you're getting close to 50K. That's a huge accomplishment. So congrats in
No, I appreciate
advance for that milestone. And shout out to everybody that's showing their Spotify stats, man. Feeling
it. No,
encouraged.
for real.
Yeah,
Like
so I'm all for it.
I don't know who's gonna be listening to this, but yo, it's and this is to any artist out there, man. Like I said, my stats this year, if you was to look at my stats last year, you would think I had a bad year. But to me personally, I think I had a amazing year. So, like I said, this album, this whole interview is literally about trusting your process. And I'm not trying to take over your talk show, Kenny. I just really felt like I had to really say something at that point because, like, I really want people to be an artist. Don't do this for anybody else. If you are, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I promise you.
Well said, man. I definitely feel that for you, for real. So everybody check out Youngin. He's on all the social media platforms. He's on Instagram. He's on Twitter. He's on
Yes,
Facebook.
sir.
So check
Yes,
out
sir.
YVNGN. That's YVNGN. That's how
The
that's
one
how
and
it's,
only.
the one and only Youngin. Ain't nobody. Everybody like this. It's not YOUNGIN. It's YVNGN. Trust the process is out. Studio
Google
quarantine
me.
is out. Yeah, you can do that too. You can Google YVNGN. That's all the links is out there. So go check that out, man. It's great having you back on the show. To talk about this album and how you feeling these
It's a
days.
pleasure to be here, Kenny. I
So
appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. I look forward to see what's next for you in 2022. Hopefully, you get a show here and there next year so I can see you in person because we haven't seen each other since that Green
We got a
Lantern bar.
link.
Yeah,
We got to
so
link up.
we haven't seen each other for years, literally. So, but we see each other on social media. You're a Falcons fan. You mentioned the football. I'm a Saints fan. So we might,
Ah,
so my team ain't looking too good these past month. So
you
just
see what we looking like.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we know Tom Brady's gonna win that division no matter what. I just want my
Right.
team to be healthy to end the season, and we're worried about what happened with Jameis. But I will say this about your Falcons: Cordell Patterson, that dude's a beast.
He's a
Um,
beast.
he's a beast. He could wind the back. He could be a fullback, wide receiver. He's literally your Taysom Hill on that offense.
We definitely have the pieces. It's gonna be the Falcons' worst enemy is time, and we always take forever to do everything.
Yeah. So y'all parted ways with Julio Jones last year. Do you want to give Matt Ryan another season, or you want to move on from him?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Matt Ryan, you want to give him another season, or you want to move on from him?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I respect everything Matt Ryan is doing as done for Atlanta. I really am, but I'm not saying to be done with him, but I feel like he needs somebody brought in that's going to give him some competition. Because I feel like the best that Matt Ryan ever had, I mean, the best that Matt Ryan ever played was when he had Matt Schaub behind him. And that's because Matt Schaub was a decent quarterback. People forget that he was winning with the Texans.
Yeah, and he was a backup for Michael Vick as well.
Yep.
So at least have that backup, that rookie coming in. Maybe a little fire on him. Um,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah,
He doesn't have any type of reason to and I will say that historically our offensive line has been poop. So
we'll
I don't
see.
really yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah. Go ahead, man.
nah, I'm just laughing at the whole situation. If I'm being for real,
Yeah.
we went from being Super Bowl contenders to the worst in the NFC.
Well,
One of the worst in the
yeah,
NFC.
man. My team is headed down there, man. I'll be shocked if we beat the Cowboys tonight. Uh, I'll be shocked. But look, man, it's great hearing from you. Good chatting with you, youngin. Keep doing your thing. Have a good holidays. Be safe, man, and hopefully we'll see each other next year.
You too. I appreciate you always, brother.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
You as well.
All right, bye bye.